Hello everyone, and welcome to my first movie review, something I felt would be a nice change of pace since this is a channel based around prehistory. The first part will be as spoiler free as I can make it, and the last part will go into some spoilers. So I've seen the movie, and I've watched or listened to a few other reviews just to get some extra opinions in on it, and just straight off the bat, I think this film is really good. Gareth Edwards directs, so the cinematography is fantastic. The characters are varied, though not all are as fleshed out as each other, and not nearly enough in some cases. The pacing was good, the special effects were on point mostly, and the acting excellent by the entire cast. Now, while the plot for one crew is we have to get the DNA for 3 of the largest species, one from land, one from water, and one from air, does read a little like a side quest for a video game, I do feel they explain it well enough for my liking. The dinosaurs are of course the main draw, and the scenes they are in are almost all excellent, whether it be the more slower sequences or the action sequences. There's also a darker tone to the movie, which is something I see people talk about a lot. And while I would like to see a film closer in line with how Michael Crichton wrote his novels, I appreciate how the movie played into it in that regard. On to characters. I did think we'd get to see a little more of Dr. Henry Loomis in the film. Not to say he's a small character, it's just that the main cast seems to share the role of main character equally between each other, which I think is a good thing, but I did enjoy Loomis's character a lot, so I guess I wanted to see him a bit more. Zora was a character I wasn't sure about even partway through the film, but I liked her by the end. Some people might call her a, quote, strong, independent woman, but she's not. Her character does have a lot of depth, and it's good to see a competent female lead who's not a Mary Sue. Duncan was one of the best characters in the film, I feel, and really kept me invested as the story went on. His banter kept the human scenes interesting. The rest of the expedition crew I won't go into too much detail for spoiler reasons, but apart from them we also have the family cast, who really work well off each other. They had scenes that felt very real, and because of them we got to see far more of the island as well. How they utilized the animals was unique in each scene, and the more I watched, the more invested I got. And we got to see a fair amount of species, which I think is important for both world building and exposing the public to animals they may not have been aware of. Now I am a little on the fence about the, quote, mutants in the movie, as I think the novelty of hybrids, whether they are failed experiments or not, has run its course. I remember Colin Trevorrow saying they wouldn't have any hybrids after Fallen Kingdom, and I was glad. You don't need to make a literal movie monster in order to make dinosaurs scary or justify having a dinosaur villain. I think dinosaurs are frightening enough, and there's plenty of them known from the fossil record to use in future productions. I just don't want the series to devolve into a whole monster mash slop fest. I do like that they are used to show how messed up bringing these animals back into the world became. Something that was alluded to with the Indominus Rex in World but never fully explored. A sort of peek behind the curtain at the more mad scientist aspect that the series could have always gone down and has finally done so in Rebirth. Overall, I'd give this film a 7.5 out of 10. It didn't reinvent the wheel and it didn't try anything too outrageous. I feel like Universal wanted to play it a little safe after the bad reception of Dominion, but it does it well. And when I see critics giving it 3 out of 10s or saying it's the worst movie of the year, I want to tell them to grow up. Those type of reviewers can't have fun, and do not represent the experience the average person is going to have. Not every film is going to be Shawshank Redemption or Gone with the Wind, and some people just gotta lighten up. But anyway, I'm rambling. On to the spoiler talk, so if you haven't seen the movie, click off now. Are they gone? Okay, good. First of all, I really don't like the look of the D-Rex. They say it's inspired by the Rancor or the Xenomorph, but it's just the Rancor. It's just the Rancor. There's nothing even remotely T-Rex or dinosaur about the thing. I also have qualms with about how much they revealed about this movie before it came out. This is a problem for all the movies since World came out, so I know, but this irks me to no end. I did not watch a single trailer, and yet through random exposure from everything from posters to toys and of course YouTube thumbnails, I basically knew most of the scenes that happened before I watched the film. As far as I'm concerned, they should have kept things like the mutants completely secret from their advertising. then I would have actually been surprised when they turn up. Imagine that. On the characters I didn't talk about, I kind of knew which ones were going to die. It was just a question of how long they would last, and I wish I didn't feel that way, as I was thinking it early into the film. I also wish their deaths more affected the surviving characters, but that is difficult to do, and I definitely didn't want the film to become depressing in order to achieve that. I do love how unique this film feels, and yes, there are throwbacks like the Titanosaur scene, especially when the theme song plays and it's like, oh boy, here comes the nostalgia milking scene. But then it turned into a really great moment that captured the serene awe that the original film had. So it's probably one of my favorite scenes in the film. Finally, the thing that actually got me angry at the film is at the very start. They say all the dinosaurs that got released into the wild in the previous films have died due to the environment being too difficult for them to survive in since it's different now, and they only survive in the world around the equator. Now, on a small level, it makes sense, but also completely undermines the previous two movies and the Chaos Theory series. The whole reason Isla Nublar blew up was so that they could get off the island and they could write stories of dinosaurs interacting with people on the mainland. That to me was a great way to keep the franchise going, but now in a few minutes of Rebirth we find out most are now dead, which definitely means that all the species they brought to the Sanctuary in Dominion are dead as well. They were killed off screen, which is a plot point that I just must stress did not need to happen. The events that take place in the movie do not require wiping out the majority of the wild dinosaurs. To me, this really ruins the idea of the whole world filled with dinosaurs. That seems to be one of the goals the movies and series was trying to reach, which left a very bitter taste in my mouth when the movie started. Do they only want the movies to be on islands, or do they want it to be a, Jurassic World? Anyway, I think that was less spoilers and more rambling, but I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. While at the same time, I'm sure others wholeheartedly disagree. And that's okay. Many people have forgotten nowadays we can disagree on things, and not have to fight about it. So finally, for where I'd rank it compared to the other Jurassic movies, I'd say number 1 is Jurassic Park, 9.5 out of 10. Number 2, The Lost World, 9 out of 10. Number 3, Jurassic World, 8 out of 10. Number 4, Jurassic World Rebirth, 7.5 out of 10. Number 5, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 7 out of 10. Number 6, Jurassic World Dominion, 6 out of 10. And Jurassic Park 3, 5 out of 10. I do enjoy all of these films, and I generally don't think any of them are bad. Even lower ranked ones have their merits. Also, I've noticed a lot of people from proper movie reviewers to YouTubers seem to think movies are either phenomenal or terrible, with there being absolutely no in-between. Which in my opinion is a terrible way to go through life and, review things. Things can be okay, or average. They aren't always in extremes. Anyway, that was my Jurassic World Rebirth review. I hope you enjoyed it. And if this gets enough views or likes, I may do more reviews in the future. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more Prehistoric Breakdown.